Merry meet everyone, welcome back to My Pagan Life as always, and of course to yet another episode of the Summer Vlog 2020. This is the last episode of the Summer Vlog 2020. But don't worry guys, we're definitely gonna make this count. I don't have a lot of additional footage in this video because I have mostly been home doing boring stuff like work and getting prepared for school, but I've gathered the few clips that I've gotten from this week and I have put the main emphasis on the Kitty Moon's Corner segment where we're going to be doing a Q&A. So let's get this episode started. Welcome to this Kitty Moon's Corner, guys. This is the last Kitty Moon's Corner segment ever, and you guys wanted it to be a Q&A. So I've got my phone in front of me, and I've got the questions ready, so let's just get to answering questions. Althea Ratliff the Religion asks, I don't know if it's okay, but what should pagans and Wiccans do if they go into politics and governance? If Wiccans or pagans go into politics or into governance, I just think that they should do the best they can to understand other people and their needs and struggles and just, you know, making the country or making the world a better place. Basically, as I'd say about anyone who goes into politics or into governance. We need diversity, we need many different voices speaking for many different important causes, and so yeah, if that's your thing, go into that. I think that politics, you know, is important. Why shouldn't we use our voices if we have the chance and the opportunity to do so? Alice Down the Rabbit Hole asks, where does one start on finding a path? How can we learn what we want so we know what to look for? And how do we focus our minds on one thing at a time? I want to learn it all right now, but I can't. Lol. Where does one start on finding a path? Well, the simple answer to that question is to just start. There is no recipe for how to find a path and how to find the right path. You need to start with something and branch out. You need to get involved with the community and the practices in order to get an overview of what's the terrain like, you know, what can I choose from? How can we learn what we want so we know what to look for? Again, this is kind of like, go with your gut, go with your intuition. And again, as I've already stated, the only way you can really go about making this as easy on yourself as possible is by learning, it's by exploring. And this is kind of like building from the ground up. You need a foundation before you can continue to build your house or whatever it is you're trying to build. And how do we focus our minds on one thing at a time? This is important. We humans aren't really meant to multitask. The best way to go about learning something is to wholeheartedly focus on one thing at a time. And you can really only do that by deciding what it is you want to focus on first. Next up is Scarlet NX Film. I hope I said that right. Do you practice divination? And if so, what is your favorite method? Tarot, pendulum, runes, scrying, etc. Let me just give it to you straight. I do not do a lot of divination, but when I do divination, I've mainly used runes. I love using runes. Speaking of runes, I can't find mine anymore. It's been like months since I've used my runes, and I cannot for the life of me find them, and that makes me really sad. So I have to make an effort to try to find my runes, and if I can't find them, then I either have to buy new ones or I have to make new ones, and I really don't want to spend money on something I already have because I'm a student now and I do not have an endless bank account. Yeah. Plaza Alexandra has quite a few questions. How can you keep yourself safe in the astral? How do you know a random stone is a gift from the Fae? Is it important to pray? And what kind of prayers should I need to know? How can I influence the heart weapons for the weather control or witchcraft? Or what can we do when the rain is toxic? How do you know if your offerings are accepted by the deities? How can you keep yourself safe in the astral? To which I have to answer, I don't know, and I don't know if I really feel comfortable answering that question because I don't like talking about things I don't know anything about. I've read about astral projection, and I know about it on a theoretical level, but I really do not have any physical, real-life experiences with working with that kind of thing, so I'm sorry, I really don't have any advice on that. Other than the generic magical advice, which is basically be in the right mindset, make the necessary preparations, know what you're doing. That's all I have to say, basically. How do you know a stone is a random gift from the Fae? Let me just emphasize right now that I have studied the Fae a lot before, but I do not work with the Fae, and I've kind of forgotten a lot of my knowledge on this subject matter. But one thing I definitely think should be said here is that not everything is a sign. This is very important, and I should probably make a separate video on that subject matter. I think some pagans and some Wiccans have brought it up in the past. We very quickly, very easily get obsessed with this idea that when something happens out of the ordinary, even if just a tiny bit, it has to be a sign. That's not necessarily true. Things happen in nature, sometimes seemingly random things happen. I think it's okay to look for signs, and I think that's a great way of practicing your intention and understanding the world around you. Just don't get so caught up in the idea that anything and everything can be a sign. So all I can really say is that if you believe in the Fae and if you believe that they may be sending you a signal or a sign, the only way you can know that it's actually from them is to listen to your own intuition and, you know, use your magical knowledge to understand what that sign may be. Maybe a good thing is to understand what that sign may be and what it entails and all that stuff. Maybe that's really the best way to understand where the sign or signal is coming from. Is it important to pray, and what kind of prayers should I know? First off, you do not need to pray. There is no obligation to do so, and there are no specific prayers that you should know. This is sort of a difficult discussion simply because of the use of terminology. The word prayer isn't really well suited for paganism, Wicca, and witchcraft. That's a word that is better suited religions such as Christianity because the word prayer means something very specific. We as witches, for instance, are trying to manifest stuff. We're trying to make stuff happen in the world, and we're asking for assistance from deities, from elements, from other energies, but we're not really praying per se. We're not really going to the higher power and asking for that higher power to bestow upon us something divine or, you know, kind of like that. Well, I may be generalizing here actually because we're all individuals, we have different approaches, no one's practice is the same, so yeah. But here's my recommendation. If you want to incorporate prayer, make a night and a morning prayer. I have used this at multiple stages throughout my practice, and it has worked for me. Not always, but sometimes it's nice to have. This next question with the heart weapons thing, I'm sorry, I don't understand this question at all. If you could clarify that question down in the comments below, I will come back to you. But for now, I'm not gonna answer it because I don't understand it. And the last question, how do you know if your offering is accepted by the deities? Again, you have to pay attention to your gut and instinct and intuition, and use some common sense, because remember, not everything is a sign. Sometimes things happen because that's how they happen in nature, and because they just happen. Whenever I incorporate offerings into my practice, I do it because I want to show respect and I want to give back to nature. I'm not really looking for a sign that it's been accepted. I'm just trying to be a part of the bigger whole and trying to give back. Nature will start to communicate with you the more you actively engage with it. Claire Telford says, you have created some wonderful original content over the last couple of years. First off, let me just say thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. Do you have a favorite moment? I swear, I looked at this question ahead of time because this is honestly a really good question, and I wanted to be able to answer it like straightforward and snappy, but the truth is, I don't have a straightforward answer to this question. I think the only good way of explaining and answering this question is to just explain my journey. So basically, the timeline for My Pagan Life goes as follows. I started in 2015, and I started making content, and I made pretty decent content for, I would say, 2 years or so. That was the old age of My Pagan Life. If you go back to those videos, the style is very different. The only thing that hasn't changed is that I like to talk, but it was just, that was the good old My Pagan Life. It was like the old stuff. And then gradually my content started to change. Not because of development necessarily, but because there was this one year when I was so busy and so stressed that I was just absent, and I went on a hiatus, if you can call it that. That hiatus did a lot of damage to my channel in terms of the stats, you know, the views, the subscriber count, the view duration, and all that stuff. YouTube doesn't treat those kinds of situations well, and I think it's kind of got to do with how the algorithm works. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is that those last 2 years have been amazing, and especially this last year now, I've been doing everything I can to deliver content every single week and to make it as high quality as I possibly can, and I can't be happier. I am so proud of what I've been able to achieve these past 2 years, and how my style has changed and how much better I've become at making videos, and that's all that matters. And another thing that also matters is that I have a tightly knit, cozy community here on this channel, and I really enjoy that. I think that's probably the most important thing to me. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. You guys are what make this channel worth it, and I'm just so lucky and so blessed to have the opportunity to make content that matters, I guess, or content that people find interesting in some way, and to just have people around me that understand me and that support me and that I can talk to and, you know, communicate with. I can go on. I truly can go on. But yeah, you have my thanks. Christy Rowland asks, my question is, what do you want to be when you grow up? This is also a good question. I've had a lot of dreams throughout the years, and some of them include being a musician or being an artist, being a voice actor. Oh my goodness, being a voice actor. I don't know if I'm good at it, and to be honest, I don't think I am, but I would really like to be a voice actor. Right now, I think my ultimate dream job would be to either own my own gaming company or to just be an independent game producer or creator. Michael Zavala asks, do you think the military and countries/governments should recognize Wicca as an official religion, and how can a more positive reputation be made upon Wicca for more education? I definitely think militaries and governments and countries should recognize Wicca as an official religion because it is a real religion, and a lot of people are part of that religion and practice that religion, I guess you can say. Another question would of course be, what would we do with that status? What would we do with that information? I think it would be good for Wicca to be an official religion, simply because it would be easier to create a foundation for understanding. If it is an official religion, you can teach it, you can, you know, make programs where you learn about it, and I think the best place to start is education. And if you feel like you want to talk to people about it and inform people about it, then, you know, do so. Strike up a conversation, and if it becomes a topic, you know, talk about it. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't bring up the fact that I'm a Wiccan, pagan, and witch with other people, but if they insinuate that they're willing to talk about it, or if they ask me about it, I will be honest. I will say that I'm a Wiccan, pagan, and a witch, and I will try to explain to them what that means. The last question I'm going to ask for today is asked by Pagan Jester, and he asks, where do you stand on blood magic? To which I have to answer, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with blood magic. I just think you should practice safely. I don't practice blood magic. I don't really feel like it fits into my practice, but if you know how to practice it safely and you know how to do it and you want to try it, then sure, go ahead. The reason why I'm hesitating here is because I genuinely don't know much about blood magic, so I'm kind of scared to talk about things that I don't really understand or don't know that much about, but that's my general take. And that about wraps it up for this Q&A, guys. I hope you guys liked this Kitty Moon's Corner segment. I hope your questions have been answered. If you want further input on your questions, or you want to clarify what it is you meant by your question, leave a comment down below. And if you have more questions, leave those down below as well, because I can answer them in the comments. So yeah, on with the video. Guys, the summer vlog 2020 is coming to a close, but I don't want to end it just yet because I want to talk about something. More specifically, I want to talk about how much of an amazing journey this has been and what I've actually learned through the course of this summer and this series. The first thing I've learned is that I can actually vlog. I have been vlogging this entire summer, capturing my experiences, talking about the things I've wanted to talk about. I feel like I have a lot to learn still, but at least I've proven to myself that I can actually vlog, and that there are many ways you can go about vlogging. There are just so many ways you can make engaging content outside of sitting in front of a camera and talking. That's my style. I'm going to continue doing that, don't get me wrong, but I know how I can switch it up and make different types of content. The second thing I've learned has to do with this phone. This is an ingenious vlogging tool, and I'm going to continue using it in the future because modern smartphones have really good camera quality, and if the files are transferred the right way, sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between this thing and the camera I'm using right now. There is a significant difference, but in the context of vlogging, it doesn't really matter. It's more than enough. And the reason why I'm going to continue trying to making vlog-styled videos in the future is because I have this camera, and I know that if I want to capture a moment and I want to make an engaging video, all I need is this one. I can just capture the moment and there you go. The third thing I've learned is that by doing this series and by capturing all these moments, I've been able to connect to you guys on a very different level than before, or maybe not very different, but I feel like sharing my experiences, it's been very enlightening to me. I'm so happy that we can kind of connect on this level and share these kinds of things with each other. At the end of the day, all I truly wish for is for you guys to have enjoyed this series. I hope you've enjoyed the variety, I hope you've enjoyed the discussions and the topics of the episodes, and yeah, I just hope this brought something new to the table. As always, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos in the future. If you want to support My Pagan Life financially, you can do that through Ko-fi, link is down in the description below, and yeah, this summer vlog may be over, but you and I, we're not done at all. I'm going to come back with my regular content, and I don't know, guys, how much content I'm going to be able to produce these next few months, but I'm going to do everything I can to keep my score and to keep my record in check, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to seeing you guys in future videos here on My Pagan Life, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the future brings. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the summer vlog 2020. I hope you guys have enjoyed this journey as much as I have. I hope you guys have a nice night, or a nice day, or a nice evening, wherever it is you are in the world. And until next time, guys, blessed be from My Pagan Life.